Yeah, audio makes things better. I always forget the audio is auto muted when you start it. Oh shit, how you doing? Long day. Kind of just. It's snowing out now. It's gonna snow for the next 24 hours. I spent the day collecting wood, and now I'm in my little shelter, I guess you'd call it. Hello, hello. But yeah, I'm just chilling. Random lives at random times. I should probably start scheduling them, but we're going to get some good weather this week. It's not going to be snowing on Wednesday or Tuesday. One of the two. And it's warm. I've got a big ass pile of wood that I've collected today. I think I can do it at least 4 hours of burn. A decent sized fire for about 4 hours on either Wednesday or Tuesday. Hey, hello, Joel. Oh, chitty, 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 chitty. Uh, I don't think they found the camp. I don't think anybody's found my camp yet. It's pretty well hidden. But there were boot prints in the area that I didn't recognize today when I was off, clearing, grabbing wood and whatnot, cutting wood, getting it all in my piles to bring it over. But I noticed foot tracks in the snow. Not close, but not far from my camp, and that always freaks me right out. Night, Cornish. Google account? I don't know. Explain to me why I look like I'm about to beat off to. What is Omu? What is that? What is Omugle? Omegle? Omuggle? I do not know what this is. I know there are sites you can do for that are probably more effective, but I don't know. Yeah, just it's a random one at random times. Oof. Yeah, it's. I've been looking at a lot of properties very recently. Just dreaming what I could have. And I found one that is amazing. $7,500. You get an acre to yourself, but there's already people up in there. It's kind of like a community, and each plot is like a few acres away from each other. And there's already solar set up. All I have to do is put up a tiny home. Just looking and dreaming. I do not, my friend Google account. I do not. I'll tell you, I'm gonna let the trolling go a little bit, but if you go too heavy in the trolling, I will time you out for 5 minutes. I haven't cooked today. I ended up eating a half a can of corned beef and a packet of rice for dinner. Couldn't heat it up today. I have a fire too, and it was snowing too hard. I couldn't get it going. And I don't have any accelerants to get it started. So cold food for me. It's a long story, Robert. A long story, and we're gonna leave it at that. Let everybody involved's privacy be private. Southern Drifter. What's going on with you, Google? You're going hot and heavy on me tonight. What's going on? I have work. I have a job. And again, I would love that property because if I got disability, that's 1,500 a month. You never need more than that living that way. That's a dream, but who knows? Anything could happen. Well, actually, yeah, with corned beef, I usually like to fry it with some cabbage or potatoes. Beautiful stuff. But now I'm in the old tent. It's not too cold tonight, so I'm not freezing my butt off. Last night it was negative 23. Right now I think it's like negative 6, so it's not so bad. And just wanted a conversation, I guess. I really wanted to get a game going tonight of hopefully we can get Settlers of Catan going on the Discord. That'd be really fun tonight. Hey, Big, how you doing? Hello, Eli. Yeah, well, we had games going a little bit earlier. We had games going a little bit earlier, but I can only handle so much Scrabble, even though I kick ass in Scrabble. But I can only handle so much of that. You know, it gets boring. And I like the strategy. I like the colonist game because there's strategy involved. Thank you, Fallout. Someone enjoys my bald head. But I'm just trying to figure things out. Like, Christmas is coming, and that's going to give me 3 days of. I'll be trapped in this area without able to go to town for at least 3 days. No one's going to pick me up hitchhiking inside of the highway on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, or Boxing Day. So I have to do a supply run on the 23rd just so I make sure I've got stuff around here. And I'm definitely going to do a Christmas Eve live stream fire, weather permitting. A nice big one. Yeah, well, I'm going to be honest. I make those tips more for myself for something to do. That's why I'm basically still doing the YouTubes and stuff, is to keep myself somewhat mentally stimulated. Because if I have my own land, I could be doing stuff on that land. I could be building stuff, cutting down trees, doing woodworking, do whatever the heck I want to do. This isn't my land. This is government land. This is crown land. So I don't want to fuck the area up. It's actually at 30. There's 30 people. The States is not an option for me, man. So I've got MS. I've got multiple sclerosis. I have my doctors here. I have access to all my medication here. Leaving isn't an option. Plus, I've got a case going against for disability, and eventually I will win it. I will get it, and they'll owe me back pay for like 5 years, which will be like $55,000. Is like the maximum payout too, and I'm not walking away from that. Too much of a bastard to give up on that. I'm not giving up on that. Hey, Skip. I'm in the woods. Patrick, how far? Very far. It really depends. If I'm walking, 3 hours. Easy 3 hours. Hitchhiking, maybe 15, 20 minutes. I have had an emergency up here. Um, they were changing the dosages of my medication, seeing what works. Because, again, I'm on 9 different medications, 25 pills a day. And my doctor had modified the dosages, trying this, and this, and this. And the first time he did it, he put me on a pill that didn't work that well for me. It gave me thoughts of hanging from a tree by my neck with a rope. So we changed it up after that. And I had a really bad physical side effect after about 3 days on the new medication, where the whole left side of my body stopped working. Like it went numb, like I had a stroke or something. And I had to crawl myself out from here to the highway to call an ambulance to take me to the hospital. I spent about 18 hours in the hospital, them hooked up to an IV, them flushing it out my system until, everything got back to normal. So I've had that emergency. And I'm a stubborn son of a bitch. I will drag myself out. My drive for survival is I'm surviving in negative 23-degree weather yesterday, Celsius. I've got one hell of a drive to survive. Favorite movie of all time will have to be a tie. The Evil Dead Army of Darkness, that's Evil Dead 3. Freaking awesome movie. And the original Home Alone. I love that movie. And I'm in Canada. Does the hobo love keep me warm? What hobo love? You know what keeps my ass warm? A pile of blankets and my rage. I live for spite. I live nothing but through my endless bouts of rage. I have a few people I have to outlive. That's what keeps me warm. The horrible thoughts of okay, I'm making that up. I don't wish anybody bad. Damn. I cannot do the French Canadian accent, eh? I can do the Canadian accent there, bud. Eh? The hick there, the hick. Oh boy, Ugh, can't do it. It's not going. Don't know what you're talking about there, boy. Eh? But the French Canadian accent, I'm in Ontario, eh? I'm not one of them Frenchies up there in Quebec. In Quebec, well, right now it is. I don't know the temperature. It's not cold out tonight. Like there was 2 days in a row that was below negative 20 Celsius. They were cold, but it's been a really warm day today comparatively. I have seizures. It's not. I don't know when I have them. I haven't had a bad one in a long time. I think I know I still have micro sleep seizures in my sleep. I my lips are either chapped or bleeding in the morning. That's either because they're dry at night and they're breaking, or I'm biting down on my lips when I'm asleep because of a seizure. But I haven't had a really bad seizure in uh, May, since May. So May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. In about 8 months, I haven't had a bad one. The bad one I had was I was heading back to my camp, and I lost most of that day because when I have a really bad one, it's like anything in your short term memory has been erased. So I lost like a good chunk of that day's memory. It took me off my feet and wiped me out like I was unconscious for a bit, just laying on the ground on the grass. And I guess nobody came by and saw me there, but I came to on the ground. Don't know how long I was on the ground for. It could have been a minute. It could have been 3 hours for all I know. But that was the last bad one I had. And if I'm having them, and they're just micro, and it's in my sleep, like the thing I'm having more than anything recently are muscle spasms that turn into like really bad Charlie horses. Like my leg will spasm for a second, and then it'll Charlie horse itself out, and it just doesn't stop. It takes about 5 minutes for it to stop. I've got to keep my foot like pointing up because it wants to pull the foot down like that, and it feels like the muscles are going to break. Well, it gets fairly cold up here. Patrick, my camp isn't that large. It's fairly small. My sleeping arrangements are very small. It's long enough for me to lay down in and stretch my arms out both ways. So, and tall enough for me to sit up in, but I don't want a big shelter. A smaller space is easier to keep warm with your body heat than a larger space. Price of It works on food. Well, I've got MS. I don't know. I kind of have to just listen to my doctor with the meds because hey, I'm not a doctor. I hear crunching. It's just a deer. Um, I keep my stuff charged quite easily with power banks. I've got four of them. I charge those either while I'm at work or I go to the library, and I'm good right now for about 2 to 3 days. There's moose. I haven't seen any mooses. I've seen a lot of deer. I've got some deer camped out behind me. They've been following me. They think I'm safe. Nothing. The shit hasn't shown up, and I've been emailing them. I have no idea what's going on there. Like the weirdest thing is through that sponsorship, they said they're gonna send me the goods and pay me, and I don't think it's bullshit because they paid me. They just haven't sent me the goods. I work at an outdoor store. Dale, I could. In fact, I want to get a hot tent. Um, What's one of my goals is I want to move from this spot onto the boss's property. She says I can take a small corner at the edge of her property. I want to get a hot tent, plunk it down there, and I'll be good. It's just I don't got 250 for a hot tent. I might try after I pay for my meds this month. But as of right now, I'm trying to be very careful with what I've got because I have to make sure I get my meds and I make sure I'm lucky I've got supplies right now, but as things are really stretched thin right now. So I can't, go get a hot tent because I can't afford it. Fallout, I'll tell you the protection I got. This and my feet. No, man, I don't. I've got don't really need much protection for bears. I do have a bottle of bear spray in one of my bags, but it's not like they're grizzly bears. They're black bears. I've had a black bear walk into my camp, and all I did was stand up and start screaming and smacking his stick against a tree, and he ran. Black bears is bitches. You can get them at Walmart, uh, and they're fairly thick in canvas. It's just you got to pick the right one. That's good, Jordansky. Yeah, you know what? I don't believe in shopping on Timu anyways. Timu is Chinese spyware, by the way. The app for Timu tracks your typing. It puts spyware on your phone. They can listen to your calls. They can listen to your text messages and all that stuff. It's spyware. You cannot sell products that cheaply without having ulterior motives. It's to get the app on your phone and for them to steal your information. That's how they make their money is through your information. So I have moral problems with Timu. Plus, I don't have an address to ship it to. Rob the Hob, I have bonfires nightly when it's down below 5-10 degrees. I've had these huge bonfires that last all night. Before I go to bed, I will stoke the wood up nice and high, and it'll burn for 3 to 5 hours, and there'll still be coals there in the morning when I wake up, just so the heat can penetrate the shack or the tent or the little crap I've got going. Good night, Fallout. Tis going, tis going. Queso, you're calling me queso, and by the way, it's spelled Caseoh, queso, and you are number 197. You're on a list, Aaron. You just made my list. I keep a tally of all the people that call me queso, and you're number 197. It's not illegal to camp where I am, not yet at least. Clint, I don't know if I'm gonna count that as you calling me queso. That's a hard sell. I I'm not gonna count. I'm not gonna include that one on my list. So we're still at 197. No, they're talking about a streamer like Queso, Caseoh. He's a streamer that I have a small passing resemblance to. It's the ginger bastard beard. Well, actually, one thing I do for supplies, I always buy some self-rising flour every time I go for supplies because if you need to eat something, you need calories. All you need is flour and water, and you can flour, water, and some oil, and you can make bread. You can make bannock. Heck, you don't even need the oil. You just need the flour and water and a fire, and throw it right on the coals. It'll cook. Oh, Jojo, leave the gingers alone. I'm not a ginger. It's just the beard is red. They do have souls sometimes. Sometimes gingers do have souls. Not many of them. I don't think any of them actually do. Fuck. Gingers don't have souls. Never mind. I plug it into a tree, and I jump up and down and scream ooga booga. That's how I charge my stuff. I go to the library and I have power banks. Or I'll bring it to work. Same thing with shower. I shower about, oh, fuck, at least 5 times a week. I'll shower at work twice a week, and I might go to the truck stop, spend the $5 when I've got it for that. Or I sometimes just walk into a gym. There is one of those LA Fitnesses that no one's actually paying attention to the front desk. I just walk in behind someone and go take a shower. Nope, not really, not really. Legit. The easiest bread you can make is called bannock, and it is 1 part water. So if you use a quarter of the, if you have a cup of flour, you add in a quarter cup of water, mix it up till it's into a dough consistency, and fry it or throw it in the fire. You've got bannock right there, and bannock is awesome. It is the easiest bread in the world to make, and yeah, it's not complicated. It's just something good. It makes a lot of sense financially. You can fry some of them up. You get 2 or 3 of them fried up, and it add calories to your meal. And if you're having something like fry that up and throw some lunch meat on top and make a sandwich, boom. Instead of spending $2 on a loaf of bread, you can spend $2 on a bag of flour and make dozens of all the bread you're ever going to need. It is a flatbread, yes. Oh, well, that's the thing. Bannock is very popular with the natives in Canada, but it is a Scottish and Irish thing. It came over when they came over, and the natives really liked it, so they adopted it. If you go to any, ooh, someone's going to the hospital. I can hear the siren going to the hospital, but it's just easy to make. No, no, no. That's on the highway that I'm on. There's an OPP station not too far out of the town, so I hear them going up and down the highway a lot. Plus, the ambulances will go down this highway when they're picking somebody up from one of the smaller towns. So you get a lot of sirens sometimes. Actually, one thing I like to do with bannock with the bread is stuff it. Like you flatten it really two bits of bannock fairly flat, and you stuff it. Like the one I liked a lot was the burger I made. Like I cooked a burger patty first, formed the bannock, threw the patty on there, put some cheese on top and some mayo, put another piece of bannock over it, and folded it shut, and slowly cooked it low heat, and you got yourself a burger pocket, I guess you call it. It's not late. It's only 8. It's only 8. Yeah, it's almost 9. But I think we're gonna try to get a game of Catan going tonight. Settlers of Catan on the Discord, or it's called Colonist there. No, I'm not sick. Just congested. I would not call the cops for any reason. I don't, unless you're actively murdering somebody, that's the only time I'll call the cops. I have had the first time I ever had an experience with a police officer in my entire life, I was 35 years old. It was within the first 2 weeks of me being outside. I was walking from a gas station back to camp. It was fairly late at night. I needed to grab something. I was just on my way back to camp, had my bag on me and everything, and they pulled in front of me, grabbed my phone out of my hand, whipped it across the lawn that was in front, like tossed my phone so I couldn't film them, had me in handcuffs, dumping my knapsack out just because I could with no explanation. And in Ontario, when you're stopped by the police, they are supposed to give you a receipt with their name, badge number, everything on it. I never got that. In fact, they didn't even have body cameras on. They just go around harassing people that they find suspicious. And suspicion is not a crime. Uh, I'm kind of deep in the woods. There is a clearing. It would work well enough, actually. It's just getting it here. Leads? I have no idea what you're asking, man. If I gotta refer to the cops as anything, it's cops, pigs, security guards are guinea pigs, or just assholes. If I'm being derogatory towards the police, it's pigs. Same with security guards. I call them guinea pigs because they're fucking assholes. They're not real pigs, and they've got no power, so they're small. They're guinea pigs. Oh no, she said yes. She said yes. I can move to her land. I can't move my current setup. It's frozen to the ground. I can't get what I've got here moved. But I'm gonna figure out how to get a hot tent, and I'll move that there. Again, I will always have access to an outlet. Like I just got to go to town. Well, I've had a few suggestions about, oh, ask your boss if you can rent one of her cabins. Her cabins rent for $1,500 a week. Like they're hunting cabins. The cheapest practical one that is decent without the stove is like 250. With the stove for the inside, it's more. Guess what? That's 200 and 198 queso counter. Woo. Your number. You made my list, Cam. You are the 198th person to call me queso. Who's gonna sleep in a closet, man? That's my employer. I work 2 days a week. I would never ask that of her, and I would never. No. Too long, Wilson. Too long. I'm working on getting it. I got a plan for supplies because right now, again, I'm stretched very thin at the moment. But around the 21st, I got my paycheck in tomorrow from work. I'll cash that and keep the money there because the 21st is when the YouTube payments come out. I'll have that for the Monday, the 23rd. I will pick up my medications on the 23rd. I will budget for supplies for a week or two. And if I've got a lot enough left over, I will figure something out for the hot tent. Again, it doesn't make. I work 2 days a week, and her cabins are all booked from now until April. For every cabin, there are no available bookings, and they're $1,500 a week. A week, man. I don't even make that a month. I make a little bit of money, Leeds. Off of YouTube. Last month was pretty slow for ads and whatnot. It was only $306. This month, I'm hoping to break for January's payment. I'm hoping to break 400, but it's a little bit extra that keeps me surviving. She doesn't need me full time. That's the point. She wasn't even supposed to keep me on as long as she did. Like, I had to fight for 10 months to find work. No one wants to hire a person with no fixed address on his ID. And to get this job that I've got, I'm happy. And it was supposed to end in September because that's her really busy season is the summer. She needed the help for the summer, someone to watch the kids who are working the docks and the marina. But now that was supposed to be the end of the work. It was supposed to be done and over in September, but she wanted me to stay on. So when she reopened in October for hunting season, she gave me 2 days a week. Oh no, if Canada does tax me unbelievably. I'm making minimum wage, which is like 16.55 an hour, doing 40 hours. So you think every 2 weeks I should at least be taking home what 10 $600, right? After taxes. After taxes. I bring home every 2 weeks about $357. So our taxes are out of control. It's not cold tonight. I had dinner today. It's nothing special. It's been raining today, so I had a packet of cold, that instant rice that's all ready to eat rice. I had a thing of that was cold with some corned beef. It's just couldn't cook today because of the snow. It was snowing very wet, gloopy snow. Couldn't get a fire going. Isaac, you are now 199th person to call me queso. Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. And, like, pretty much everything I make off from work goes to my medical bill, my medication. So I'm bringing about $700 a month in from work. My meds cost $650 a month. Fun, isn't it? Legit. Anything I get extra is what keeps me alive. Like that $300 I get is Amazing. Oh my god, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the super. Holy crap. Thank you. I want to give you a heart. Well, I don't do drugs, my friend, and you should not be spending that kind of money on drugs. And yeah, you control all you want. Do what you got to do. Leeds, no, healthcare is free in Canada. So if I got to go to the hospital, that's free. You still have to pay for your medication. Isaac, fruit is expensive. I end up eating a lot of canned goods. Actually, I do eat some fruit. I eat canned pineapple a lot, but that's canned pineapple. Okay, so you can do that. You can get ID through these nonprofits that are the shelters or the Salvation Army. Yeah, except one thing. Employers don't just take a copy of your ID and file it away. They Google search the shit out of you, man. They type that address right in Google and find out where you're living. If you think they don't, you're a very naive person. Class C, ask you a question. I probably have an answer. Do I support the LGBTQ? I believe every single person has the right to live and have the right to live your way. Um, I don't care what you're doing, who you're doing it with, as long as you're not hurting anybody. And it's nothing to do with, the little ones. That's my belief, is you're attracted to what you're attracted to. Have at it. It's none of my damn business. I disagree with that angry hippie. I believe honesty is always the best approach. Because lies always come back to kick you in the ass. Oh, Cobra. Yeah, and it's even worse when they won't give you insurance and they won't give you the Trillion medical plan. Like, yeah, that's. I'm thankful I'm not diabetic. Cass C, you had a question, and I've got an answer. Exactly, Leeds. This is what I agree. I've never had a problem with anybody's race, religion, or sexual orientation. I don't care. You are who you are. Okay, hurry. Okay, I'll be here for a little bit longer. Actually, I've got a really bad story. I don't know if I should tell it, but you know what? I will tell it. This is going back a very long time. I would say I would be like, oh, this is before I got kicked out of my parents' house. So I'd be like 10 or 11. I had a friend. He was black. Very good friend in school. And my dumbass decided to bring him home to my place so we could play video games. Walk in the back door, because we always went in the back door of the house. Go inside, and my dad's there. He grabbed me by the arm, pulled me in the other room, and told me to get that N word out of his house. That's my dad. So I don't want to be anything like that. I don't understand people's thought process because, hey, I bleed red, you bleed red, we all bleed red, we all grow old and die, we're all the same. But yeah, people can suck. It doesn't matter though. Like I had my ass kicked out of that house by the time I wasn't even a teenager when they kicked my ass out. My grandparents were better. I know my grandfather was a very racist person too, but he did have one good quality is he didn't do any of that stuff around me. He kept his opinions and his bigoted attitude to himself. Okay. That Cast C got to come back soon. I'm gonna check their profile out. I'm fairly warm. I'm fairly warm. What am I warm enough? I'm nice toasty right now. I'm pretty good. Sort of a tent, yeah, but I insulated it. I've been I've been I worked and whatnot, so I had my social interactions for the week. And right now I'm just waiting for that Cass C to come back. What the fuck is blinking behind me? Huh. There, I haven't moved my camp yet, but I'm working on a backup. Well, that's something you need to keep to yourself. But yeah, it sucks. It really sucks. Like I I don't mind being in the woods. In fact, it's just a life I could lead in a different situation. I'd like a small piece of property, a cheap piece of property, and a small tiny home where I can be comfortable. Well, warrior, it's a lot more difficult to leave the country you're in to immigrate to a new one than everybody seems to think it is. Like, you have to do applications, and a person in my situation would be flat out denied. They wouldn't let me immigrate because I would instantly be a burden on the system. Oh well, what you gonna do? It's kind of so I've got time on my hands, and I've already design what I would like my tiny home to look like. It would be literally just a single room, sort of. I would go for maybe a 20 25 foot across circle. Like it would be circular. My tiny home would be circular, between 20 25 feet across. And with the main door, there'd be a small partition where my bedroom would be on the left hand side. Then three windows at the very front, a living room to the right hand side of the door over there, with another partition where a small kitchenette would be. And right in the dead center of it all, you'd walk in, you'd see a wood burning stove with its flute going right out the top. Very efficient, easy to keep clean, and very, for lighting, it's very efficient, and heat, very efficient. Well, I wouldn't want to live underground. I like the natural light. I like seeing the landscape. I would like windows, a place for a small TV, internet, do Starlink, and maybe community. If I had the money to get the property I wanted, like 7,000, $5,000 to $7,000 for 5 acres of land, offer a space for anybody who wanted to move up there, have them help pay for the internet, so you can work remotely. You could have people work in a call center remotely using Starlink, and help them build the tiny home. Help them we put the solar up. You go in that with 5 people, get the land. Everybody pitches in another $5,000 to $10,000 for solar, so you're always kitted out. It would work, especially where I want it. It's like right on a lake. You can go fishing and really enjoy yourself, and that's my dream. Okay, yeah, no, I've been waiting. I've been really waiting patiently. My ears are burning. Ask the question. I might have responded. I don't know. I get a lot of comments, like 4,000 a week. Ask the question here, and I will answer it here. Um, I was taking Centrum multivitamin, but my doctor told me not to. Um, I am on iron pills though. I'm in Ontario, closer to. I'm up near Sudbury ish. I was in Toronto. Oh, don't worry. Anybody from Toronto thinks Toronto is the center of the world. So where's the question? Ask the question, Cass. See, I've been waiting for it. My ears are burning. I'm excited. Oh, not much is up, Dale. Not much is up. Are you on your own land? Are you where are you building the shack? Are you doing it on your own land? Oh yeah, you might see me around there if I'm in. I'm not in Sudbury. I'm not in the town, but if I am, I'm in one of the libraries. Are you building your tiny home on your own land? Or are you just doing it on crown land? Like, I actually have questions for you now. Like, if you're building a tiny home, again, I have plans for my own tiny home. It's more of it's circular, but material wise, it'll cost less than a traditional house style tiny home. It'll be more spacious and open, easier to heat and light, and very energy efficient. Oh, like those Volkswagen things. Yeah, no, it's my thing. I'm gonna be. I'll figure it out sometime. Yeah, actually, that's what I would do. Is I would try to build with completely natural material. Like, what am I saying? Wood is natural materials too, but I would actually cut down trees, and instead of buying wood, I would buy where I needed it, but the outer walls would 100% be tree. Like, I would cut down pine, debark it, and do the outside completely in that. Use a foam sealer to seal up any of the cracks, and then on the inside, do a proper old style insulation with and proper spackling and drywall all that on the inside. But that's the plan. Oh shit! A shipping container. Yeah, even that a shipping container is fairly easy to convert. Fuck you! You should really get on that though. If you could salvage some wood and just use a just salvage some wood and styrofoam, you'd be able to insulate that fairly easily. I, you know what? I'm gonna draft it up on AutoCAD. I think there's a mobile version of AutoCAD I can get. I'm gonna draft my plans up. I'm gonna actually blueprint them, and I will post it as a community post. So if anybody wants to take a look at what I'm talking about, personally, I think it's a very good design. Well, I'll definitely be friends. The best way to contact me, anyways, isn't through chat. I've got my email posted a in the information section of my YouTube channel. Email me. That's if you need to contact me. Email me is the fastest way to do it. No, like again, if you can find a way to get your own land, Sudbury's not the place to do it. Sudbury's still very expensive. You can find land to buy. Holy shit! Definitely email me. I should show you a couple things. You'd probably be a really good candidate for the Green Project. Look up the Green Project. You should start applying for that. It's gonna cost you $5,000. You get like a quarter acre of land in a homesteading community. That's it for all time, and even then, you don't have to pay it up front. You need to put down like a $500 deposit and finish paying it off within a year. But it's an actual option. Just look up the Green Project. There's a few other places that are similarly priced that are further up north. Look into that because you might actually be able to bring your container there and convert it as you have time there. Yeah, look on Kijiji. Same thing for if you look up unincorporated land or yeah, unincorporated land on Kijiji, you can find some really good prices. There are people who own like 500 acres of land north of Timmins who sell plots of it for like $5,000 to $7,000, where you have access to roads. You're a short drive to town, uh, and you'll also have access to their solar setup. And it's good for you to contribute to that, like put your own up as well and put into their grid. But there are a lot of projects like that around Ontario that are super affordable, like $5,000 are for weird people like us. But the one that probably be easiest would be look the Green Project, and the ones that still have availability are the ones. There is one site up near Sudbury that still has some availability, and there's a lot of availability up in the ones near Thunder Bay and Timmins. Oh, guys, it's not asbestos land. It's good land, but when they own, they're good people who want a community, and when you own 400 or 500 acres of wilderness, making $5,000 off of a small plot of land is a pretty good deal. But hey, guys, so I'm gonna be jumping on the Discord right after this. I'm gonna be ending this in like 30 seconds. I'm gonna do some games on Discord, so my jaw's getting sore. I'm thirsty, and I gotta pee. I don't know how that all goes together, but it does. We'll talk again soon. Hopefully, have a nice big bonfire. Bye.